Doctors in New Zealand and Australia have published similar statements. Is Dr. McNamara suggesting that all these countries are rejecting evidence-based treatment and placing their kids at risk of suicide?
I hope she's not.
I blow yourself up.
That Ruger GP100 and a box of 38 specials?
You might shoot your eye out.
Can I just, I don't know, like get an irreversible gender surgery?
No problem. We'll get started right away.
Wow. Okay, friends, welcome once again to the Look and Live YouTube channel. I got a reaction coming your way today is because this one is sweet to listen to. Actually, this one is coming from my own channel. And I did say I need to do a reaction because I read your comments and you guys says that I should react to this video. So I'm going to do exactly that. Actually, I recorded this video at work and I didn't have all my studio and everything. So I said, you know what? I'm going to come back and react to this because this is powerful. Now we're going to see a doctor gets embarrassed. Okay, when she is confronted with facts and the bombs are dropped in the room and things were quiet. And it's just amazing to watch her face. Man, you're going to enjoy the show. Make sure you like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more. We got a lot going on in this channel right now. So make sure you go over to our store. We're promoting the merch, okay? Check out the merch. I put in some work for this merch, okay? All right, so make sure you go over there and show some love. So we're gonna visit the store at the end of this video. Make sure you like and subscribe. This matters. It matters a lot. I know some of you watch the videos and you just move on. But if you come and enjoy anything that I'm sharing in this channel, even if you don't like my face and you can't stand my accent, you don't even like the way I look, it's okay. But like and subscribe to the page because it helps pushing the algorithm. It helps pushing the video forward. Over 91% of people who are watching this channel have not subscribed. That is crazy. I said, dope. I'm like, man, what am I doing wrong? Like, what's wrong with me? Why these people? Anyway, so I'm asking you with kindness in my heart. We got 3 videos a day coming your way in this channel, as well as the Pastor James Reacts. And I also have another YouTube channel where we focus primarily on Bible study for those of you who are spiritually hungry. The link will be in the description below. Without further ado, let's get to the heart of the message here.
This is a politicized issue. This is a manufactured culture war. I got to say, we aren't the ones who did that. We aren't the ones that came up with this radical new movement that is performing permanent physiological changes to children with no evidence of any benefits. We didn't start that. We're just trying to stop it because it's crazy. It's a contentious issue, which almost 70% of Americans oppose. So we are just saying here that taxpayer money shouldn't be used for it. That's all. This should not be that controversial of an issue. Questions are for Dr. McNamara. I just want to ask you, honestly, you're not concerned about the unknown effects of puberty blockers, hormones, and surgical interventions in kids, the long-term effects, not concerned about that?
Everything I've said here today comes from a place of deep honesty and conviction for the care that I provide and the community that I'm a part of.
You've said that we've cherry-picked data. How do you mean by how do you mean that?
So it is very unscientific and flawed to pick a single study or a single statistic and to discuss it in isolation.
Totally agree.
Medical experts are able to talk about all of the evidence as a whole.
Totally agree. So it's good to look at systematic reviews, right? That's the gold standard of evidence when you're trying to understand whether something works or whether it doesn't. So the British Journal of Medicine looked at 61 systematic reviews with the conclusion that, quote, there is great uncertainty about the effects of puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgeries in young people. Journal of Endocrine Society came up with the same conclusion, even the American Academy of Pediatrics. They all cite the lack of evidence. And so here's the thing. If you're doing a therapy, and it's, temporary, whatever, fine, maybe let's try it, let's see if it works. But when you're talking about permanent physiological changes, do you not agree, just from an ethical standpoint, that you might want extremely strong evidence of the benefits? And there is no systematic review that states that there is strong evidence of benefits.
Good point.
Sir, are you aware of how the quality evidence grading system works and how it's applied?
Yeah. Yeah, we read through it. That's why I'm citing these journals. So
We read
which
through
journal says something different? We should have that debate.
Yeah.
Tell me a journal that has done systematic reviews that cites different evidence, that cites strong evidence for benefits of these therapies.
Yes, he's bringing the facts. I love Crenshaw. This is great. What happened to his eye, by the way? I can't help but to ask. So let me know in the description below. Nice. So give me some studies. Okay, studies not done by organizations that are supporting this movement, but rather studies that are done where they are really examining the facts for what they are. Okay, and considering all the different elements that plays a role in that. So cite some studies proving that puberty blockers and all these cross-sex hormones, and why should taxpayer dollars be supporting that? And why are other countries running away from it? Because we're going to see that today. Let's keep going.
The standards of care were developed based on extensive.
You're not telling me any journal. You're not telling me any study. Don't say
That's not
standards
what
of
it-
care.
Yeah.
Standards
So
of care.
Tell me one.
the
She draws blank. She has nothing.
standards of care.
Standards of care is not a study. This could be motivated for all types of reasons as well. This is not to say standards of care all in and of itself bad, but it was considered standards of care to have everybody receive the the inoculation during the supposed pandemic. When that happened, it was the standard of care, even though it was emergency use only, and this was not supposed to be forced on the population, but they forced it anyway. Boy.
What?
What have we done? Anyway, there's a movie you need to watch. I think it's called, I'll find it and let me put it on my screen for you quickly. There it is, right here. It's still up there on YouTube. All right. You need to go over there and watch Pandemic, the Great Awakening. And it would all make sense. Let's get back to the video.
The standards of care.
Yes,
That's
standards of
not
care.
a journal. That's not a study. That's not an organization. That's not an institution. You're just saying words.
Mm-hmm.
Name one study.
One.
I'm out of time. I yield back.
To use my time.
All right. This lady here is going to, the next doctor we're going to listen to, she's going to destroy the entire narrative and take her on a sweet ride. But anyway, before we listen to that, these people are pushing an ideology upon children without any serious and strong evidence that it does work. So this is like they're experimenting, hoping it works out. And I will say, are they listening to the voice of the children, the parents? It's not just those who oppose, but there are people who are speaking out. And some of these kids are talking. Some of these detransitioners are talking. And they're all coming out saying, boy, it's not working. What I thought is not what it is. And we ignore their voices. I've heard some of them were being censored on YouTube. Some of them got censored on TikTok. You see, it's like a culture. It's a system that says, we want your children. And it's very obvious this stuff is demonic.
One study. I'm out of time. I yield back.
To use my time to respond to Dr. McNamara. First, I'm struck by her use of the phrase sex assigned at birth. Sex is not assigned at birth. Sex is established at conception, and it's recognized at birth, if not earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. McNamara claims that her views are science-based, but to claim that sex is assigned at birth is without any scientific basis whatsoever. It's language.
That's a good point. It's established at conception. It's true. That's why we used to go and we were able to have the ultrasound with my son. I was able to see what he was going to be a boy. We knew that. I wanted to know. I wanted to know, get excited. I love my son. But the thing is, with both of my sons, I knew what was coming. We knew at conception he was a boy. Just about 3 months, we already were aware of what we were going to have, and we were ready. make the purchase and everything. It was an exciting time. But today we are saying this is a sign at birth. Like what? No, that makes no sense. So she's roasting her. I'm just enjoying the show.
Language misleads people, especially children, into thinking that male and female are arbitrary designations and can change. That is simply not true.
Yes.
Dr. McNamara claims that social and medical interventions are the only evidence-based treatment and that scientific evidence shows it is life-saving.
That is
Without
not true.
it, she's warning us, kids will commit suicide.
That's the same punchline. Same punchline. Yeah. What do you want? Was it a trans son or a daughter? There's a way that they say it. I don't know. Anyway. But she is cooking her wide open. I'm enjoying the show.
Well, a growing number of countries have effectively banned the care to which she's referring. And thank God there's been no wave of suicides or other mental health catastrophes.
None.
3 years ago, Finland placed strict limitations on medical interventions for minors. Sweden did the same thing after a 14-year-old girl was found to have osteoporosis and spinal fractures from puberty blockers.
No way.
An investigation concluded, quote, the risks of anti-puberty and hormone treatment for those under 18 currently outweigh the possible benefits. The UK
The truth is never sent to embarrass, but to set you free. Let's get back to the video. Let's get excited.
conducted a review and called the evidence very low.
Mm-hmm.
They've also placed severe restrictions on the care that Dr. McNamara calls life-saving. Norway also analyzed the data and has made similar changes in policy.
Why are we so late? These other nations they figured it out. They tried it and they realized this stuff doesn't work. Well, here we are. We're still having a debate. We're still holding sign. We're still making noise. What? America, wake up. These nations are way ahead of us. They done figured it out. We're supposed to be the most technologically advanced people. Come on now. The greatest military in the world. Come on now. The world's superpower. Come on now. Number one. Like, sheesh. I don't know, with Biden at the helm, I'm not sure if we're still the world superpower, number one superpower.
What are you talking about?
I'll take that back. Let's keep going.
The National Academy of Medicine in France warned, quote, great medical caution must be taken in children and adolescents, given the vulnerability of this population and the many undesirable, even serious complications the therapies cause.
Wow.
Doctors in New Zealand and Australia have published similar statements. Is Dr. McNamara suggesting that all these countries are rejecting evidence-based treatment and placing their kids at risk of suicide?
I hope she's not. She better not. It's just, oh, this is amazing. She is roasting her. Look at her face over here. She doesn't know what to do with herself. She doesn't know what to do. She just sits there. I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm embarrassed publicly. Oh, this is the end of my career. But, you know, that is crazy. Roasted. Baked. Cooked. Well done. Let's go.
Regarding that point of view, Finland's gender expert, Dr. Rita Kaltiela, said, quote, it's purposeful disinformation, the spreading of which is irresponsible.
Yep.
All 7 countries, and Florida too, of course, concluded that kids don't need their development interrupted.
Amen. There is a video, I'm going to put it in there. But the thing is, it is just, even Florida is pushing back. Thank God for Ron DeSantis. I'm telling you, if he keeps up with this thing, 2028, he's got my vote. Because Mr. Trump is my guy right now. But anyway, they like to say, this is anti-LGBT policies. What? how is how is not allowing children to be medically operated upon, to have their parts and their genitals removed? How is double mastectomy? How is cutting parts of children permanently for the rest of their lives? How is that an attack on LGBTQIA plus people? How is that an attack on trans people? The Human Rights Society declared a public emergency because trans attacks was on a rise. I'm like, y'all better stop with that mental victimhood stuff. Like, enough already. Nobody's trying to kill you because you're trans or gay. In these United States, this is the most tolerant and acceptance. You will not go any other place in the world and do some of the stuff we do in this country. You get a whole month. You can go out and dance naked. Some of yous were crazy enough to go to the White House and take off your shirt and free the nipple. What is that? You're not locked up. You're not persecuted. Yeah, you might got some backlash online. That's as far as it's gonna go. You know how much power you got over here? How much privilege you got over here? It's the same argument I have for black people. I'm like, y'all don't realize how well we got it in this country. Like, if you go to different parts of the world, you realize, like, these people aren't gonna put up with this stuff, okay? So I'm saying the United States put up with a lot when it comes to trans individuals, when it comes to LGBT. There's a lot of tolerance and acceptance. There's a lot of understanding here. And this idea that they're persecuting me because I'm trans.
You are lying!
Girls don't need their periods stopped
No, they don't.
and their voices lowered.
No, they don't.
And the boys don't need to grow breasts.
Yikes!
They do not.
What they need is psychotherapy.
Yeah. Not only that, they need Jesus.
Preach!
They need psychotherapy. They need help with their mental state. They need to learn how to accept themselves. They need to know that they were created by God. Despite of the way they feel, they still matter. They can work with their differences and accept their personhood. But no, some medical doctor came with his tool and say, let me cut. Just like that Babylon Bee video, that little girl who went to the store and couldn't even get a tattoo. But when she mentioned she wants transgender care, she wants transgender operation done on her, oh, he was excited.
I'd like a tattoo of this really awesome Chinese symbol that I saw.
We're definitely gonna need your parents to come sign off on that tattoo.
Why can't I do what I want? It's my body, my choice.
Because you're 14. All right, tattoos are permanent. You're gonna regret it one day.
Can I just buy some of those cigarettes?
No way. Smoking is so bad for you.
How about a beer?
No.
A vape pen?
No.
A lighter?
Not in this state.
Can I rent a car?
Sorry.
Bottle of cough syrup?
What are you, drunk?
Fireworks?
You might blow yourself up.
That Ruger GP100 and a box of 38 specials?
You might shoot your eye out.
Can I just, I don't know, like get an irreversible gender surgery?
No problem. We'll get started right away.
Wow.
Oh, cool. I don't need my parents' permission.
Of course not. What if they're non-affirming?
He got really excited right away. Come on, let's do it. It's crazy.
I have other objections to Dr. McNamara's testimony. She insists that her position, only hers, represents standard medical care. What she doesn't want you to know is that there is no standard. There's a debate. There's a fierce debate. And on the side opposite.
And YouTube wants to censor anyone who's speaking against this. They shut down, I might be in trouble soon for putting out this video. They shut down Candace Owens. They shut them down for about a week. Michael Knowles. And they even went after Matt Walsh. These are like some of the largest YouTubers online, conservative bodies online right now. YouTube went after them for using the wrong pronouns. YouTube goes after them for talking about trans issues. What? Are you kidding me? And if you're going after the big guys, is there any hope for the little guys over here? We ain't gonna stop talking. We're gonna keep on talking. You know how many times I got in trouble for talking about, pestilence 19 pandemic? My YouTube channel was shut down. Completely shut down. They give it back to me. I think it was the grace of God, because I don't thank YouTube for anything. I think the Lord touched their hearts, but they decided to change their minds. But nevertheless, they are censoring people for talking about this. It tells me the devil is angry because he's losing.
To her stand such prominent figures as Stephen Levine, Kenneth Zucker, Paul McHugh, and James Cantor, among others. These doctors are giants in the field.
These doctors are giants in the field. Homegirl, you just started this thing. Who do you think you are?
Others. These doctors are giants in the field.
Look at her face. Oh, look at her face. I hate to make fun of people in that sense. But I can't help but to see her face. Look at this. Oh, that smirk. Oh, Meredith. Was it McNamara? McNamara. I can tell. This one was a punch to the rib.
They have been treating transgender patients and gathering data and publishing papers about them. And I mean,
did you hear that sound?
Transgender patients and gathering data and publishing papers about them. And I mean no disrespect here, but since before Dr. McNamara was born.
Oh, she is brutal. She is brutal. Oh my Lord, I love her. She is, I forgot what's her name though. If you guys know, let me know. Let me read the comments. I can't believe this. I think Dr. M entered the field with good intention. Yeah, Dr. Yeah. You guys are amazing. Yeah. It's just that I forgot her name. She was in the movie What is a Woman with Matt Walsh, and she addresses a number of things. But if you know the name, write it down below. I could find out later on. But boy, isn't she brutal?
Respect here, but since before Dr. McNamara was born. The point is that those veteran clinicians and others who have wisdom and experience are ignored because they disagree with the current narrative.
Yep.
They're against medical interventions for the same reason those 7 countries are. There is no evidence of long-term benefit.
Yeah.
But there is evidence of harm.
Yep.
I'll end by quoting Jamie Reed, the courageous whistleblower from the Children's Gender Clinic in St. Louis.
Okay.
I believe that hospital receives the medical education funding that we're discussing today. She said that doctors at that clinic said, "We are building the plane while we are flying it."
Say that again. Say that again.
That we're discussing today. She said that doctors at that clinic said, "We are building the plane while we are flying."
Oh, man. Look what we are doing. We are building the plane while we are flying it. And we're eventually going to crash. We're going to crash the plane. You see, the thing, I don't know why people in America is acting like this. They are Finland, Sweden, even in France. They are saying this is a bad deal. This is not good. We can't do this to the children. But here we are. Here we are. Pushing this stuff on children. It's like, duh, when you're going to wake up? It's very similar to what happened during slavery when England was abolishing slavery and they were pushing back against it, and William, not the bastard, no, William the Conqueror now, but and many other things that they've done to stop the transatlantic slave trade. They did everything they could to stop and bring about freedom to the people that were slaves. But however, here in America, we were just like getting things started. It seems like we are so late, man. We are so late about everything. While other nations are figuring things out, and here we are, we still having a debate. It's like, what? Like, it's supposed to be number one world superpower. Are we still number one world superpower or what?
it. We are building the plane while we are flying it.
And we need to stop.
That's how they described the treatment at their gender clinic. Our precious tax dollars should not support such a perilous experiment.
Period. Period. We are building the plane while we are flying it. Our tax dollars should not be supporting this thing. When a person chooses to have surgery to change their body or their nose or whatever it is celebrities do, we don't support this with taxpayer dollars. Why do we support transgender surgeries with our taxpayer dollars? We're talking about people who need serious mental health, and I sympathize. They need help. They need Jesus. They need prayer. You see, I'm separating the kids from the ideology and the mentality. What's going on mentally and what's happening to children, and what these medical organizations are doing. Diabolical. Wickedness, evil. These kids need serious help.
Say something, you fool! Say something!
How is it that people are having mental issues about a particular thing that's going on with them is primarily in the mind, psychology, it's in the psyche. But instead of addressing the psyche, we cut body parts.
How stupid are you?
I don't understand, because they're telling you how they feel. So it's coming from up there, and you say, "Oh, I know the results. Let me take your breasts away. Give me your genitals. Let me cut that out. Oh, you need a phalloplasty done? Give me your arm. Let me cut some pieces of your arm so I can create one for you. That's how I'm gonna help you with your mental issues." What in the world? Like these people. I tell you what. This is why the Bible is so correct. And you think this is only for spiritual things? Look at this. Whose mouth must be stopped, right? It says, "For there are many unruly and vain takers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, whose mouth must be stopped, who subverts whole houses, teaching things that they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake." So this is not just spiritual. We know that in church and even in religious matters, these things is happening. And even, by the way, there are Christians that are teaching the same thing, like these doctors are preaching. But I want you to look at the reason they're doing it. For filthy lucre's sake. Just in case you don't know what that is, that's actually for money. When you read filthy lucre in the Bible, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this one calls it lazy gluttons. Oh, wow. But the point is, they're doing what they're doing because they gain financially from this. And shame on them. But I also say this, make room for the eunuchs. Because they're among us today. Somebody said the eunuchs are coming. Well, they are here. When you go to Isaiah 56, it's talking about God having mercy on the eunuchs, those children who's been wronged by our society, people that are supposed to be trusted in their field are failing these kids. But we gotta make room for them. We are said that the foreigners, actually, it tells you that these foreigners or eunuchs, as the King James puts it, he speaks of them as strangers. It tells you that if they keep the Sabbath of the Lord, let the eunuch says, "I am a dry tree." So there is this, I'm so unworthy. I'm such a wretch. Look at my condition now. But thus saith the Lord unto the eunuch, that keepeth my Sabbath and chooses the things which pleaseth me, and taketh hold of my covenant. Even unto them will I give in mine house and within my walls a place and a name better than the sons and daughters, and I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. Go study about the eunuchs in the Bible and what they did to them and their genitals, and how they were used for religious prostitutions, and they were to worship the false gods. Anyway, go study about them, because I think a lot of what's happening in that community, the trans community, we're going to have a lot of modern day eunuchs in our hands, and we need to open our hearts wide to accept them in the gospel of Jesus, and asking and allowing them to experience the grace of God like never before, because some of them are saying in the Bible, I am a dry tree. I am a dry tree. That's a statement of somebody who is completely hopeless. That's a statement of somebody who feels completely rejected by society, undeserving, unworthy of any love. This is what that statement means. But guess what? God says, I'm going to open the door and let them in and give them a second chance. And I'll say, open your heart, because some of these people are going to come. They're going to come looking for love in Jesus. They're going to come looking for the grace of God. And for those of us who are Christians, there is a field of labor waiting for you. Okay, so be ready for that. Thank you so much for listening. Like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more. I love that. I love this thing. I love this thing. This was powerful. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.